We're all taught to dream big, right? Set those huge, audacious goals. Run the marathon. Lose the 10 kilograms. Completely reinvent your entire life. But here's a little secret. There's a huge problem with that approach. Those goals, they're distant, they're way off, somewhere over the horizon. And when your brain looks at a massive goal like that, it sees no immediate reward. And with no reward on the table, it simply won't release the dopamine you need to even get started. So what if we've been looking at motivation all wrong? What if the key isn't the finish line, but the first step? This is the science of small wins. And it's the hidden reason why your brain is actually hardwired to love progress, not perfection. Most of us live our lives believing that happiness is waiting for us at the end of the road. That the reward, the dopamine, the real joy, it only comes after we cross that final finish line. But I'm here to tell you that this is a lie. It's a trap that keeps so many of us stuck, because if the only reward is at the very end, what does that make the entire journey to get there? It makes it a punishment. It's just grit, and effort, and pure fatigue. And your brain, which is built for efficiency, will eventually just say, you know what? This isn't worth it. Shut it down. And that, right there, is why we quit. It's not a lack of willpower, it's a flaw in the system. But here is the discovery that changes absolutely everything. Neuroscientists found that the brain doesn't just release dopamine for the final result. It releases dopamine when it realizes it's on the right path. It's that biological signal, a quiet whisper that says, hey, keep going, we're getting closer. This is the powerful principle that slow fitness and similar concepts leverage. Let's reframe this. The big, scary goal is not to run the marathon. The goal is just to put on your running shoes. Think about that for a second. The marathon is the distant outcome. Putting on your shoes is the system. And here, the magic. When you focus on just completing that one simple part of the system, your brain registers, win, a tiny, perfect hit of dopamine. You take that first step out the door, win, another hit. You've just rewarded the process itself. Now, this next part is arguably the most important piece of the entire puzzle. You have to consciously and actively acknowledge these small wins. It's not enough for them to just happen. So when you finish that 10-minute walk, you must stop, take a breath, and literally tell yourself, I did well. You can even say it out loud. What you're doing is actively attaching a subjective reward to an objective effort. You are essentially hacking your own dopamine system. You are teaching your brain that the process itself is the real reward. And guess what happens when you fall in love with the process? You no longer need to find motivation to start. The process becomes its own reward. The desire to do it comes naturally because your brain anticipates that good feeling. But there's an enemy to this entire way of thinking. It's the all or nothing culture. It's that nagging voice in your head that says if you miss one day, you've failed. That you've broken the streak. That you're a failure, and you might as well just quit. This is toxic. Slow fitness and the small wins approach embrace imperfection. Missing a day is fine. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Your only job is to come back tomorrow and get your next small win. Because these tiny repeated dopamine hits, they build a sustainable momentum. A momentum that is so much more powerful than any single massive burst of motivation you might feel once a year. So, I want you to stop chasing that distant, imaginary finish line. Instead, focus on the single step right in front of you. Break down your big goals into the smallest possible actions. Acknowledge your effort, no matter how small. Praise yourself, because true sustainable change isn't found in one single roaring victory. It's built from 1,000 tiny whispers. I did well. Keep going. Thank you so much for watching. If this idea resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content on building better habits. Let me know in the comments what your first small win will be. See you in the next one.